Welcome to Pathway Infotech. On Sunday, which will be on 24th of September, I am going to conduct a new demo session for new S4 HANA batch. So if you have any interest, so please let me know. So now the topics which I am going to cover in the session. So before getting to the topics, which I am going to teach in S4 HANA 2022. So it is the S4 HANA 2022 is the latest one. Then overview of S4 HANA. So history of S4 HANA, then difference between HANA and S4 HANA, and what is the in-memory concept, and what is the OLAP, OLTP. So which I am going to cover under this. Then architecture changes in S4 HANA. So as compared with the ECC 6.0, what are the changes? The organization structure of FICO, baseline configuration. So in ECC 6.0, we were able to map only up to 3 currencies. Now in S4 HANA, so we have an option to map 10 currencies up to. So how we can map that? Then the difference between classic GL and a new GL. Then general ledger accounting. So coming to the GL, so the configuration as usual. So then group chart of accounts, country specific chart of accounts, then multiple ledgers, accounting principles. In chart of accounts, account types and cash account. This is the one of the new option or new feature has been introduced from S4 HANA 2020 onwards. Then coming to the bank accounting. So in bank accounting, changes between ECC 6 and S4 HANA. Then activate business function for bank accounting for BAM functionality. So how to activate this one? Then configuration for the bank accounting, then bank account creation changes and close and deletion process with workflow. Then how to map, how to configure the workflow for the bank accounting. Then difference between, so the before the configuration, we have an option in the BAM functionality. If I want to activate the full scope, if I would like to activate the basic scope, what is the difference between? So I'm going to cover. Then workflow setup for the bank accounts, then bank keys, how to bank keys will upload mass, then bank account mass creation. Okay, how we can upload through template. Then coming to the accounts payable, overview of a business partner, BP configuration with real-time examples, then baseline configuration of accounts payable, manual process of vendor invoice posting, then manual payment process payment through the checks, then vendor special GL transactions. Then this is the same, the process as compared with ECC. Then automatic payment program. So in the automatic payment program configuration, there are few changes in the FBZP configuration. That is the reason I have mentioned here. So what are the changes we have to consider as part of S4 HANA? Then payment advice configuration. So how we can do the payment advice, how we can generate payment advice for check payments. Then DME configuration. Again, the next important one is the what is the DME, then the purpose of the DME, type of DME file formats, then end-to-end DME setup based on the bank specific requirements, then changes in the DME activation and deactivation subnodes. So DME file validation, how to test the DME files with the bank before move production system. So because here, let's say now we have generated the DME file, but whether that file the bank is going to accept or not, even though we have developed a DME tree based on the bank specification, but before moving that one, into production system, we must have to validate that file with the bank. Then how we can do that one? Then DMA mapping in automatic payment program. So how we can assign this one? Then how to map the logical file paths for the DMA file. Then DMA file generation in the EAL11 application path. Okay, so directly the file needs to be placed into the EAL11 application path. Then accounts receivable. Overview of accounts receivable baseline configuration, manual customer invoice process. This is a quite common. Customer special GL transactions. Then here automatic payment program configuration for the accounts receivable. Okay, what is the business need? Then how we can do the configuration for AR for accounts receivable. Then dunning process. Then the next topic would be a electronic bank reconciliation. Overview of EBS. EBS configuration changes between ECC and S4HANA. There are few changes as part of S4HANA. So we must have to consider this one. Then what are the changes? Then what is a BTC code and how to configure this one? And what is the Swift code and how to configure them in SAP system? Then end-to-end configuration of EBS, then multiple EBS file formats, then different EBS file structures, then how to upload, download and delete file from the AL11 application path. Then the next one is in the real time how the files will get processed from AL11 directory. From either it could be inbound file or it could be outbound file. I will show you this one. Then real time end to end AL11 file process. Okay. So then as soon as once we run the F of underscore 5, then system need to process the file automatically. Then coming to the next one, the log box. Overview of the log box, business process of the log box, configuration, end-to-end configuration, then file formats of log box, EBS file process with the log box functionality, EBS files with multiple business scenarios, which I am going to include like discount calculations, taxes calculations. System should perform automatically without manual intervention. Then GST, input and output tax configuration. Then new asset accounting. So under new asset accounting, overview of new asset accounting. Then changes between ECC and S4HANA. Then difference between accounts and ledger approach. Then what is a technical clearing account and how we can do the configuration and when it will come into picture. Then what is the operational part? What is the valuation part? When it will come into picture. And what are the transaction codes got absoluted and programs got absoluted in S4HANA. Then old versus new table structure in S4HANA. Depreciation run and absolute options in depreciation run. Then real-time business requirements. Then asset masters upload process into S4HANA. Then new GL accounting. Under new GL accounting, overview of new GL, concept of document splitting, configuration of new GL, concept of zero balance clearing, then difference between active and passive document splitting, parallel valuation, parallel ledgers mapping. Then moving to the controlling, cost element accounting. Anyhow, the cost element accounting, it is not there. It is not part of it is not there in S4HANA, but we need to understand the functionality. So that is the reason I just have mentioned this one. Then cost center accounting, internal orders, profit center accounting, product costing. So in the product costing, I'm going to cover make to stock, make to order scenarios, then COPA. Apart from this, then integration, integration with FI, SD integration with FI. Then I am going to cover IDOCS end-to-end configuration. Then we'll generate the IDOCS also in the system, sender system and target system. Then what are the migration activities which we have to take care during the migration? Then data migration tools in S4HANA. So what are the tools are available? As you know, no more LTMC. Okay, so earlier we were using LTMC in order to bring the data. Now LTMC is not available in S4HANA 2022. So we have to use the different tools or different Fury apps in order to bring the data. Okay, friends, thank you.